Imagine a clock. Not just any clock, but one that tells us how close we are to global catastrophe. This is the Doomsday Clock. Created in 1947, the Doomsday Clock is a symbol of the world's vulnerability to man-made threats. It's a stark reminder for humanity to destroy itself. The clock's time is set by the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, a group of experts in nuclear science, climate change, and disruptive technologies. The closer the clock is to midnight, the closer we are to disaster. The Doomsday Clock was born in the aftermath of World War II. The world had witnessed the horrors of atomic warfare. Scientists who worked on the Manhattan Project, the project that developed the atomic bomb, were deeply troubled. They understood the destructive power. And the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists was formed. They created the Doomsday Clock as a way to warn the world about the dangers of nuclear weapons. The clock was initially set at 7 minutes to midnight. This reflected the belief that humanity had a limited window to prevent nuclear annihilation. The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists is responsible for setting the Doomsday Clock. This group is composed of leading scientists and experts in various fields. They assess global threats and determine how close we are to catastrophe. Factors considered include nuclear risk, climate change, biosecurity, and disruptive technologies. The clock's time is not set by a precise formula. It's a judgment call based on the best available evidence and expert analysis. The Bulletin meets twice a year to discuss these threats and decide whether to move the clock closer to or further from midnight. The Doomsday Clock has been moving closer to midnight in recent years. The world is facing unprecedented threats. Nuclear tensions are rising. Climate change is accelerating. Disruptive technologies are creating new risks. These converging threats paint a bleak picture of the future. The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists has expressed deep concern about the trajectory of human affairs. The clock is a wake-up call. It's a reminder that we are living in a perilous time. Section 5. The nuclear threat. A Sword of Damocles. The threat of nuclear war has cast a long shadow over humanity since 1945. The Doomsday Clock reminds us of this ever-present danger. The number of nuclear weapons has decreased since the Cold War. However, the arsenals of nuclear-armed states remain vast and deadly. Tensions between nuclear powers are on the rise. The risk of miscalculation or accident remains a real possibility. The use of even a single nuclear weapon would have catastrophic consequences. Millions could die instantly. The long-term effects of radiation would be devastating. Section 6. Climate change. The heat is on. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It is here, and its impacts are being felt around the world. Global temperatures are rising, sea levels are rising. Extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and intense. The scientific consensus is clear. Human activity is the primary driver of climate change. We are altering the planet's climate system at an alarming rate. Failure to address climate change will have dire consequences. We face a future of rising seas, extreme heat, food shortages, and mass displacement. Section 7. Disinformation, a virus in the system. In the digital age, information spreads at lightning speed. This presents both opportunities and dangers. Disinformation, the deliberate spread of false or misleading information, is a growing threat to global security. It erodes trust, fuels conflict, and undermines democracy. Social media platforms have become breeding grounds for disinformation. Algorithms often prioritize engagement over accuracy, spreading falsehoods far and wide. The spread of disinformation makes it difficult to address pressing global challenges. It creates confusion, polarization, and inaction. Section 8. 90 seconds to midnight. In January 2023, the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists set the Doomsday Clock at 90 seconds to midnight. This is the closest it has ever been to midnight. The decision to move the clock forward was based on a number of factors. These included the war in Ukraine, rising nuclear tensions, the ongoing climate crisis, and the unchecked spread of disinformation. The bulletin statement warned that the world is facing a confluence of dangers. It called for urgent action to address these threats. The clock is a stark reminder of the high stakes we face. It is a call to action for leaders and citizens alike. Section 9. Our future, our choice. The Doomsday Clock is a symbol of our collective predicament. It reminds us that we have the power to destroy ourselves, but also the power to choose a different path. The challenges we face are daunting, but not insurmountable. We have the ingenuity, the resources, and the moral imperative to create a safer and more sustainable world. We must demand action from our leaders. We must hold them accountable for their choices, and we must each do our part to create a better future. The future is not predetermined, it is ours to create. Let us choose wisely.